You strive for visibility through a grace called influence. You strive for acceptance through a grace called favor. And when God gives you visibility and acceptance, the next thing is structural establishment. God will begin to establish you structurally. Structural establishment speak about God begin to help you to have your own place. There are people that may be ministers, but yet again they are traveling here and there as itinerary preacher, right? So much grace of God upon your life, but you don't have a ministry. You can travel here, mighty wonders, anywhere they invite you, grace. Anytime you come to a place, people notice there's something in you. The grace of visibility and acceptance is there. Anytime you are just, if you just go to a meeting, you know, if they give you 2 minutes, 3 minutes, when you just open your mouth, fire of God everywhere scatter. Say, who is this? What's going on here? That's the grace. But God have not yet given you structural establishment. And most times within that time, you move as an itinerary preacher. Itinerary. You move everywhere. They invite you everywhere. But yet again, you may not have a base. It's very okay. Because when you have gone through the process of separation, consecration, and prayers, now you are anointed by God. God begin to give you that visibility and acceptance. Then he now move you to structural establishment. He begin to talk to you about what he wants you to do to establish a structure. And that is where you return back to your dreams and to your vision. It doesn't matter whether you're a musical person, whatsoever, anything you do, God will begin to communicate to you through your dreams and your vision. He will show you where you ought to stay, where you have to go to. Maybe the place of your ministry, your place of assignment. He will tell you, go to Jos, go to Kaduna, start up a meeting called Togetherness Apostolic Network. Do this, do that. At that point now, what God is giving you now is what we call structural establishment. Maybe you are serving under a ministry. Maybe you are a pastor under a ministry. They notice the grace of God upon your life. Now they have put you inside. They have ordained you. But there is no structural establishment because God does not yet feel need for you to do that. Other of you, they may give you maybe a region. You may be the senior pastor, or they will promote you to, maybe regional something. You may not have to start up anything. But if you look in that ministry, you are given certain level of privileges, as though you are on your own there. Now God has given you establishment. Other people are coming to serve under you. It's another level beyond just the visibility and the acceptance that come with the grace upon you. Paul said, I am what I am by the grace of God. I am not qualified to be an apostle. I'm not even meet. But the grace of God made me who I am, in that I labor more. So in the days of structural establishment, you may have to labor the more. You may have to work some more now, because God have commissioned unto you what is called your assignment. Bishop David Abioye will always say this. When people say you should take it easy, never take it easy, because during their time they didn't. They took it so hard. The way Bishop Abioye took the work of Bishop Oyedepo is as though it's his own work. That man can survive anywhere as a bishop, not as a pastor myself. But yet again, God has him to serve, so he remained there. And if you take at this point, that guy is already established, even structurally. The next level is legacy. At the point of legacy is where you begin to build a name. As I say bishop this, you can hear. When we say TAN, when we say living faith, when we say remnant, when we say koinonia, you see it now. When we say Shekinah, you have to begin to build a legacy for what you do. Because as a minister, let me tell you, you must be able to brand yourself to a point that anytime people call your name, they must remind you, they may remember you for something. All these spiritual, calm down, my friends, calm down. GUC, Nathaniel Bassi, when we speak about what they call the Hallelujah Challenge, Nathaniel Bassi. When we speak about the experience, House on the Rock, that is legacy, right? Now they are trying to build legacy upon the structural establishment and upon the visibility and the acceptance that God has given unto them. So before you begin to do maybe a worship concert, you begin to do something seasonally, a seasonal mandate that establish a legacy in keeping to your calling. So you can now wake up and say, okay, I want to have a society, a company of worship people, to have a program tag worship explosion. Anything. Or I want to have a network of ladies having something, maybe a ladies warriors night or Deborah mantle, anything. But it has to be consistent as a seasonal mandate, now establishing a legacy. You can never be able to excel in certain level in ministry when you don't build legacy, and legacy are built upon seasonal mandate. Like this conference now is a legacy. Young people prayer conference. Of course, it's a legacy. So a time comes when now you have a structural establishment. Now you are building legacy upon diverse levels of things you do. At that time, you can now advance to do NGO, do some outreaches, do some apostolic invasion, do some crusade. Are you getting my point now? Let's say we are invading this region, we are doing this crusade, we are doing this outreach. All those ones now are legacy you are trying to build upon the mandate that God has given you. Are you getting the point? The last level there is, you know, build people. A time is going to come in your ministration and your ministry that you now realize that you are not going to last forever. So you are not interested in who will continue what you are doing. At that time, you now begin to focus on raising other leaders. And this is the reason why we have minister sessions like this. Sorry to say this. If today, Apostle, I'm not saying he die, as it's like this now, 2 angels come. I don't know whether we can fight them. They come, one hold the left leg, the other one hold the right leg, and carry him up, take him to heaven. Who will continue this thing? He did not die, no sickness, nothing. In fact, before they went, they left like 2 billion naira, so that we know that there is resources. One leave 1 billion naira, the other one 1 billion naira. I say, okay, now Papa, they want to heaven. Who will continue? You now see that all those other things I spoke about, it now fall down on this last stage. Building people.